Hey guys, Caller here with Diggity, and this is the final game, Game 5 of Stork versus Kal. I think both Diggity and I would have been surprised to hear Stork having to go to a Game 5 against Kal, who's been playing so strong this entire series. And Stork, I mean, the last game, Kal just kind of wrapped it in a gift and, took the game and wrapped it up, put a bow on it, and said, Stork, hey, win this. I'm going to go 14 Nexus on a map where my expansion is incredibly hard to hold. And he lost the game because of it. But anyway, we're going to see the ace here on Athena 2. Going into this, I think Stork has not been playing great this entire series, to be honest. Surprisingly bad. Stork in yellow here at the upper right and Kal in red at the upper left. I mean, I guess right now at this point he's practicing for the OSL finals, and there's not much you can say about that. He's practicing against playing a Terran, and even though he just beat Bisu and Best in the OSL, he probably just not thinking about playing this series. It's just not putting so much weight into it. That's the only thing I can use to explain for the fact that he's just not been aggressive, not been really creative at all this entire series.
I don't know. I think he did try to be creative. He went for those proxy gateways on the proxy
that is
4-gate Goon.
He did do that.
So I can't say that he wasn't creative across the board. But there's also kind of the opposite factor of how much does he want to reveal about what he's going to do for OSL at the same stage. And it's so hard to win both. Has there ever been a winner of both the MSL and the OSL at the same time? There's always been staggered winners. There's been Savior, Boxer's done that, but has there been?
But I mean, right now in the OSL, the PvP games have all been played, so I don't know what you mean. I mean, he's facing Fantasy in the finals.
Yeah, that's true. He's facing Fantasy at the finals at this stage of the thing. Looks like we're going to see a standard gateway from Stork this time. And we might see, standard gateway also down there. And the pylon had already been put down a little bit late. For a second there, I thought I was like, wait, did we see a pylon? Is he going to go for another 14 Nexus on a 3-player map? That's insane. Then I would have called him completely idiotic. It looks like we're going to see some gas, so pretty quick tech build, which you can do when you have that ramp to hold. But once again, it looks like an early scout a little bit sooner there from Kal. Kal wants to make sure he has that information in on Stork. And that is one thing that Kal has been doing a lot better than Stork. He's been denying the scout and getting the scout in. Stork has not denied the scout at all to Kal this entire series, it seems like. And I think that's been a major difference in the gameplay. And that's always, that's always the difference when you're talking about players against each other, is the player who has the information almost always wins against the player who doesn't. Kal being a little bit annoying with that probe scout and trying to do a little bit of probe dueling here. Looks like he's going to pull it out now. But at the same time, you'd think Stork, these have been really late scouts that he's just kind of let go by. Mana Pylon. He only catches one probe though, it looks like, so I'm not sure how economic, how efficient. No, he didn't even catch one, so I'm not sure how efficient that was as far as cost to benefit there. So not catching any probes, it looks like. I think he might actually have one probe right there, but honestly, I don't think that was really worth it. No, it didn't even catch
sometimes
one.
It can be, yeah, it didn't catch one, but I don't know, this one's got to be close. It wasn't exactly the best mana pylon. It does mess you up, though. You have to mine behind the minerals instead of in front, but regardless, I think another reason, of course, is because Kal is moving up with a Zell of his own, and he's going to be able to try to kill off some of these probes as they run behind the minerals, unless he lets it die beforehand. Nope, there it is. There's the Zealot, who's going to try to benefit from this mana pylon being there, trying to pick off some probes of Stork. This is, in the games against Best, Stork did not lose. In these situations, Stork would literally not lose a single probe. He was that good at pulling, and right now we're seeing Stork isn't losing a single probe yet, so maybe he'll be just as good here, at least in the technical mechanics here. Looks like he is going to pick off that pylon and probably this Zealot right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's, again, not losing a single... Oh, he lost a probe. But still, let's talk about cost-benefit here. He didn't have a single probe blocked out, first of all. Now he's getting his robotics facility up. He didn't have a single probe blocked out by that mana pylon, and on top of it, that's 100 resources. Actually, 200 resources when you think about it. Actually, 250 when you think about it. You got that probe scout, which really didn't do a ton of scouting aside from that mana pylon, was killed off, didn't manage to get this information right here, which is what Kal would really want out of a scout.
Right.
Lost the Zealot, lost the pylon, so I really feel like he's not falling hugely behind, but definitely falling somewhat behind as a result of this. So Stork showing some beautiful micro there, and I think that might carry him a little bit into the mid game. We'll see how Kal responds from this stage up, but obviously the Zealot pressure not going to be there from this stage on. And what happened to, this is once again kind of a question in my mind, what happened to Stork Scout now? I don't see that Probe Scout anywhere near
I don't know.
Cal's base. It must have gotten killed somewhere during that harass, I guess. And I wish I knew what that building was. I'm going to assume that's a second gateway, but not even a robotics facility down yet for for Kal, whereas the robotics facility already up for Stork. And that is a bad sign.
Yeah, it is, and so was
That's
this. This is a bad sign at the bottom here. It looks like it is 3-gate there. So this time I think Stork's quite well prepared though. 3-gate loses in general to 2-gate with Reavers, and yeah, no, it's a Robo. So it's just a late Robo from Kal actually.
Hard to tell with the shimmer.
Yeah, I know, and with a big sign at the bottom, you know. But anyway, Observatory first here from Stork, and he's going to get that shuttle. He's probably going to put down that, well, he definitely got a scout into the base. I guess you're right, it did get destroyed, though, during the time in which, you know, the fighting was going on. I think that was a robotics support bay there, so he's going to have those Reavers a little bit later, unfortunately, because, of course, he wasn't able to keep that scout alive. He had to get the Observers first and play it safe.
What's kind of odd is it looks like he's putting out in a position where he's hoping that he's trying to like push that scout out, not getting any information as a result though. Wants to scoot it in and see what he's up against on that front door ramp, not quite able to do so though. But he's almost putting it out in a position where he's like, come scout this, Stork, come scout it. We'll see what he does from this stage on. It looks like he does have that shuttle out. He has that observer pushing out as well. He's got to have that robotics facility up as well. But I don't think that, the question is how soon will that robo be out, whether Stork decides to push this up. I can't see him pushing it up on a ramp map like this, and the robotics facility for Kal not far enough behind where I think it'll make a difference. But that's an interesting positioning. Do you see that there?
Yeah,
It's just kind of out in the corner, right where an observer would come out. He's kind of like, hey, take a look at this, Kal. I'm kind of curious what the reasoning behind that is.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't necessarily think it has that much of a reasoning, because wouldn't you usually want to hide your Reaver tech? I don't know.
Sometimes you want to show it just to kind of throw a player off, you know, say, hey, maybe I went Robo first over Observer sort of thing. Maybe try to give that impression, but in the meantime, it looks like Cal's pushing out towards front door. He's got the Reaver. He's putting it on a third gateway now instead of his expansion. So, and now Stork's going to go up and put some pressure on. Not sure, and this is what I like. Is you see, you got that staggered force up front. Stork only has a couple of units. He's got just a small attack unit, making it look like he went for more of an expansion with just those three Dragoons and 2 Zalts. So Kal doesn't have a very good idea of the size of his force, but he's got to assume at this stage, and there's that Reaver alongside, so he is going to be able to defend this, but still a little bit of pressure pushing up, and at the very least he could do some disruption here. Now it comes a micro battle. He might lose that shuttle, almost losing that shuttle. He took a big hit across those Dragoons, so he's already lost 2 Dragoons. He's going to have to back off, so Kal taking a big lead early here, taking down 3 Dragoons.
Wow, Stork with some miss-micro there. If he had actually picked off that shuttle, it would have been very different. But Stork now is in full retreat here. Kal had more time to build off of those 2 gateways, and his Reavers weren't that much later. It wasn't late enough to matter. So Stork now could be in big trouble here. He's going to have to defend his natural expansion. I think with the Reaver there, he should be okay, but he's lost so many units in this retreat here. Also his Observer, so Kal knows he can rest here. And then, oh no! Oh no! Oh my goodness! Kal has dropped Stork and gotten at least 15 kills. Oh man, Stork, that was GG right there, I think.
Yeah,
Stork knows it. That was Stork style right there. That was Stork, like genius. He stole one of Stork's Reavers.
That was genius.
Oh,
that was brilliant. He knew all those Dragoons had to be on the front door to defend against that, so he went in with that counterattack. Kal had that perfectly in position. Yeah, I don't know why more players don't do that more often. Actually, is draw that Reaver up to the backside and go for a quick snipe on the probes and just try to feint. I guess it's because you can end up losing. You can end up paying for that big on the front door if you don't back off in time. You end up taking Reaver hits on the front door because you just can't survive against the counterattack. But anyway, but Kal in a very, very strong position now. He's essentially all but got this bag in, or this in the can, that pylon. Seeing Stork. That coming out, so he's going to be able to pull these probes out easily. Yeah, he's going to back it off now, but even then, that's going to give Kal... Kal knows now, he's like, okay, well, his Reavers aren't there anymore, so I'm just going to push. And Stork's going to have to fall back here, and he's still losing Zealots, as you can see, in this retreat, and just a much inferior force. Kal's actually backing up a little bit here, but Kal's got a much larger force, he's got a much better economy. He controls the game right here. He's got the observers. Stork doesn't have any idea what's going on. Kal can take an expansion, Stork can't. He's got to continue to produce, and it doesn't look like he's going to, though. He's just going to continue. And picking off another observer. Stork desperately wants to get the scout in here, but he can't. Yeah, everything going Kal's way throughout this entire set, I have to say. And it looks like he's going to end up taking this series. So again, me looking stupid off game one. And here's the big confrontation
big battle, yeah. This is not even a fair fight here. Stork's going to get everything picked off. He's trying to micro. It doesn't matter. His shuttle goes down now. His Reavers will all go down. GG is going to come very soon, I think. Kal takes the field comfortably in that massacre there. Wow, I mean, I was just surprised. Stork had his Reaver out early. Why didn't he go for what he did against Best so many times against Bisu and just dropped his Reaver inside of Kal's base and killed some probes and then picked it up and won the game? But no, instead he allowed Kal to push him back, and then Kal did what Stork should have done. GG coming from Stork. But you know what I'm saying, though? I mean, what do you think about the fact that why didn't Stork drop his Reaver and kill probes? I mean, that's what you do with Reavers. I'm just surprised, to be honest.
I think what happened is he might have thought that I think with that Manor Pylon, with that Zealot, and with the economic positioning, he might have thought that that Reaver wouldn't have been out at that time. And so he thought he was going to have a much easier time on that front. And so he thought Kal was going to try to expand. And then he would be able to go up and be able to pick off a lot of the Dragoons and deny that expansion before that Reaver was out in the front. But Kal had that Reaver out on the front, just perfect timing, in that you saw that splash. That really the key to that entire thing was that splash off that first Scarab. It hit about 6. It seemed like it hit 6 Dragoons. I don't even know if that's possible. Maybe 5 Dragoons there, but basically did a lot of initial damage to those Dragoons, and there's no way Stork could win that fight. And then as he was running away, loses Zealots, and when he lost the Observer, that was just the nail on the coffin. Everything going Kal's way here, and I've got to say, looking at his play, I always underestimate Kal going into these. I always am like, oh well, he's just a creative player. He doesn't show anything else, and then I always like loving him at the end. So he's always one of those guys where I'm like, I don't think he deserves to move on, and then he ends up doing it anyway. So we'll see what he can do in the next round. I still don't think that Kal can take this entire MSL, not with the players in the field currently. I think he would have been a better matchup, although he's beaten Stork, and I thought he was Stork was his toughest competition out here. So who knows?
Right. I mean, on his side of the bracket, I believe you're going to have Jangbi versus Yellow Arnak, so we could be seeing a replay of Kal versus Jangbi. Should Jangbi beat Yarnak, we could be seeing a replay of that in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals rather. But yeah, wow, Kal taking a surprise win. Not much to say here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to cut this off once again. GG.